Beautiful game of basketball witness right there in Port-Harcourt as, of course, River Supers made it 2 wins out of 2. Now, of course, joining me to review the games that were played yesterday and, of course, to preview the games that would happen later today is a sports journalist based in River State, Nigeria. Eval Edu joins us all the way from Port-Harcourt this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Favour. Good morning to all your esteemed viewers around the world. It's nice to be on your program today.
All right, fantastic basketball played in the last 2 days in Port-Harcourt. River Supers playing at home seem to be having their destiny right now in their hands to go all the way to winning the trophy. What do you make of yesterday's victory and what are the chances of River Supers to win the title?
Well, if the Eagles are dreaming of doing it again for a fourth African Cup of Nations and coming up with the slogan, let's do it again, then the slogan here in Port-Harcourt is one more step, because that's the only thing left to be done by 5 p.m. right here in the city of Port-Harcourt. The Port-Harcourt Arena in Niger Street has been a complete blessing, that I can assure you. The fans have been exhilarating. The atmosphere has been electric. People have come out to really support the sport of basketball. One thing that before this competition started, we wouldn't have really, thought that we will have such turnout and such followership. But at the end of the day, it's been a different ballgame entirely. Just like you rightly stated, River Supers have their own destinies in their hands right now. They do top the table with 4 points, 2 wins in their first 2 matches, and a point differential of 11 plus 11, because at the end of the day, it is both points and the differential points in terms of the goal difference if it were to be football. So both the points garnered from games won or lost and the differential of points, like what you call the goal difference in football. So the top with 4 points from 2 matches played with 2 wins and a plus 11 in terms of the differential of their points, which is at the moment the best return for all the 4 teams that are currently taking part in this Premier Basketball League finals. They have their destiny in their hands, but we shouldn't forget that today's game is against Nigerian Customs. Yes, Coach Abdurrahman Mohammed may have lost his game yesterday to Gboko City Chiefs, which we thought was a shocker because in the Savannah Conference, both teams met and it was Nigerian Customs who were victorious in that particular one. But yesterday was a different ballgame entirely. The likes of Okaja, James, and Godwin David did not come to the party. We saw them putting in 18 points in their apiece in their first game against Hobbs and Reed. But yesterday they were shackled by the Gboko City Chiefs side and they were nullified. So their 12 games unbeaten run came to an end. Don't take anything away from Nigerian Customs. This was a game everybody was looking up to, that in case both teams record victories in their 2 matches, this will be like the final, and that will determine everything. The Basketball African League is a big motivation enough for every player to come out there today and put in a great shift. But now it's River Supers with their destiny in their own hands. 2 wins compared to Nigerian Customs, just 1 win and 1 loss. So it's more like who wants it more today. To me, it will be more of Nigerian Customs under pressure to come out and deliver because they have just a solitary win. They need to beat River Supers to ensure that they also wrestle the point of the man before we take our eyes off the other 2 teams. Hobbs and Reeds are out of the equation due to the fact that they just got just 2 losses and their differential is about minus 14. So it will be a long way for them to claw their way back into this one, even though they have 2 points in terms of the 2 matches they've played so far. Gboko City Chiefs can still steal this one. If they do beat Hobbs and Reeds with a better return of points differential at the end of the day, then we may just be looking at the game between Nigerian Customs and River Supers having to do enough to match the differential of points in the game if Gboko City Chiefs do have to record a win against Hobbs and Reeds.
All right, you've analyzed and you've talked about the chances of the teams, talking about River Supers, Nigeria Customs. But Coach Ogo Odaudu, coach of River Supers, had something to say after yesterday's win against Hobbs and Reed.
Even though it is a 1-point league, a half-point game, a half-point win, I'll take a win any day. But still, concern to me how we cannot maintain the lead. We need to know how to end games. We need to know how to play. We need to know when to be in a hurry and when to slow it down. We just didn't do a good job today. So going forward, it's something that we're going to look at.
All right, that was Rivers Hoopers coach Ogo Daudu talking about the win. We still have Eval Edu, talking about the chances of the teams. Now, Eval, Rivers Hoopers, 4-time champion, and they're on the road towards winning the ticket to BAL. Now, looking at amongst the teams you've seen so far, let's take away the fact that Rivers Hoopers are playing at home. Which of these teams, Rivers Hoopers, Gboko City Chiefs, Nigeria Customs, really deserve to be on the continent when you want to look at how they've played and the style and what they bring to the table?
Well, I'm sorry, to sound this way to Port-Harcourt people, but if we were to choose in terms of the best team here at the Premier Basketball League Final Four, I will go with Hopes and Raids. They have been the most entertaining side, one of the most athletic side, and when you have a player like Victor Eze in your team, then you're sure of doing something magical with the ball. They've really won the hearts of many. Yeah, it's unfortunate that they've not been able to get over the line in terms of recording victories. And that is due to inexperience, because against the first game against Nigerian Custom, they were leading for the first 3 quarters, but threw that one away in the 4th quarter after Nigerian Custom found their way back into the game and piled all the pressure, drew the fouls, and finally get to commit the hoops and read players, which I felt were tired at the end of the 3rd and final quarter. Then yesterday in the game against Rivers Hoopers, you could see that after the rattled Rivers Hoopers in the 1st quarter, they got a lead in the 3rd quarter, and they had to cut down about the 13 or 10 points lead of Rivers Hoopers to just down to a point. Now, they didn't have that experience enough, to fight their way, to getting a victory. And that's where it's been slipping off their fingers. Coach Mensah Dosu has even really accepted that, yes, his team looks a little bit inexperienced, because in very critical stages of the game where you expect them to just wrap things up or take things simple by just going for the 2 points or playing around the perimeters, they've gone for 3 points. They've complicated issues. They have considered fouls by traveling, and so they get to lose possession and initiative to their opponent. So the best team here, to me, in terms of play, has been the Hopes and Reed side. But take nothing away from Rivers Hoopers. They have the experience. Then they also have the very technical players. A player like Buchin Wewu, Johnson Anayo, and Ebel of Fia, which I call the 3-point master in this competition, have been 3 players that have really stood out for us. And not forgetting Michael Daramola, he's also been excellent for Rivers Hoopers. So the experience of Rivers Hoopers coming in here have been quite good for Rivers Hoopers team. But if I were to speak in terms of the play, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of how the team set out to play and how fanciful they've looked like on the court, then I have to go with Hopes and Raids. They've been one of my most amazing and standout teams for this particular competition.
All right, well said. Interesting. Well, we can go on and on and on. That's the beauty of basketball. And it wraps up this weekend. We'll definitely have a champion and a representative at the Basketball Africa League. Thank you very much, Eval Edu, for your time. In as much as you want the very best of basketball, we hope that your team wins the tournament. I won't say more than that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Favour. We'll confirm that at 8 p.m. Hopefully a 5th title in Nigerian basketball.
All right, you've just given your team away. All right, we now know. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.